Hey everybody, it's been a while, but meh. So I watched a bit of Ben 10 and I decided to do with what if Deku had Hex's abilities? If you don't know Hex, he's a really powerful sorcerer from the Ben 10 series and is one of the greatest magic users in Ben 10. In my opinion, he's better than Gwen because, well, most of the time I just see Gwen like creating shields or just pure blasts for only like a short period of time, and then she has to use her other hand to create another blast. But Hex uses a staff and creates one powerful blast, so I think he's more powerful. Now, anyway, as I was saying, let's get into this. It was a field trip, and they decided to go to an old house said to behold of one of the greatest magicians on earth. Then someone in the back, with blonde hair and red eyes, Katsuki Bakugo shouted, "Huh, who cares about magic? It's nothing but a bunch of fairy tales." Yes, I know that's true, Bakugo, but this is part of history, so we have to do this, the teacher said with an annoyed sigh about having to go over this. But one student actually raised his hand, but was never called on. Seeing how no one wants to, let's just get going. Leaving the kid behind because he was trying to ask a question and no one was paying attention. Leaving the kid in the room. Well, hey, why does this always happen? He was about to walk, but then something caught his eye. It was a book, a seemingly old book. When he grabbed it, it seemed like it just fixed itself. You can see the book at the top right corner. He reads the bit and it says, Book of Spells. Huh? He opens it and sees the first spell saying, Lingavia Ningar. And if people can't say, I'm saying Lingavia, Nin, and then Gar at the end. I'm pretty sure that's how Gwen said it in the show. Again, I'm not 100% sure, so don't get upset. Anyway, once he said that, a small tornado appeared in front of him. He quickly lowered his hand because he raised his hand when he said the spell, and the thing disappeared. What in the world? But how? I thought magic wasn't. Then he sees a staff in the corner, and it seemed like it was glowing. He looked at it for a second, then everything around him turned up. He said, What in the world? Who did this? Where are you? He just hears a laugh, saying, Never thought someone like you would get my book. I thought it would have been one of the Tennysons. Who are you? Can't you tell? After all, you're in my house. You're one of the greatest magicians? I would have been the best. I would have ruled this world. But then they came along. But that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to help you learn my magic. Now then, let's begin. Now, over the course that felt like several hours was actually a few seconds for him because Hex made it so that anyone that would enter his house and would be able to read a spell from that book would instantly be trapped in a time space with his memories. It would teach Izuku everything. How to use spells, charms, as well as summonings. Never thought you would learn this stuff so quickly, kid. You seem like a prodigy. Thanks. Well, that's all I got for ya. Wait. I'm just a memory anyway. What? Oh, come on. I've been dead for over 100. That place has been abandoned for over 100 years. You really think I would still be alive? I just made it so that anyone that would be able to read a piece of that book would be trapped in here. Now, I request you get going, kid, as everything went back to normal and the staff was in Izuku's hand. He thinks about it shrinking to the size of a stick that could fit in its pockets because he didn't want to get caught with that. And surprisingly, it did. The staff shrunk and now fits in his pocket. Izuku puts the book in his bag because he brings his bag full of notes everywhere and puts the book at the very bottom. Ha! Dagger, what are you doing? Of course it would be with all this useless stuff. But oh, what's the matter? Whatever, Deku. As Bakugo left, Izuku wanted to cast a spell, but he's not worth it, Izuku, he says. As over the next couple of months, Izuku would actually practice, because instead of just learning and then not increasing his skills, he increased everything. He was able to summon a lot stronger things, as well as increase his abilities of magic. Now we're going to time skip about 5 weeks or so, giving him about about a day before the end of the school. Oh look, it's Deku again. But this time, instead of taking it, Bakugo said something. Why don't you take us all a favor and just leave? I bet your mother would. And that's where. One thing anyone should know about Izuku is that he cares for his mother. As it being fan fiction or even in the show itself. So that's when Izuku decided to lift up his hand, is where the staff appeared in his and then he cast a spell. I can't remember a name for one, so. And that spell ended up sending a powerful beam towards Bakugo, sending him into a wall, cracking it. Deku, you had to crack this entire. Before you could even say another word, something appeared in front of him. It was two things standing right in front of him, seemingly ready to attack. What were you saying, Bakugo? You. And then those two things quickly struck him in the stomach, knocked him out. When he was knocked out, he de-summoned them. Hopefully next time he won't say that again. Now we go to the very end of the school year. It seems you can't do anything about that book, huh? As Bakugo tried to take it. A quick, I would say like greenish red thing surrounded his hand, in which Izuku pushed it forward, sending Bakugo flying. Don't touch the book, Izuku would say, seemingly increasing the pressure and almost crushing Bakugo into the wall. You. As Bakugo would say, fine. Izuku lets up the pressure on him and finally leaves. Now then, as Izuku was walking home, he went under a bridge, and suddenly, you guessed it, the sludge villain. Oh, this is definitely something interesting. Sorry, kid. I'm gonna need you for a second as a meat suit. I didn't know he would be here. When the Sludge Villain tried to capture, Izuku encased himself in a red bubble and threw a rock at the ground. What do you think? Before he could finish, he got punched in the face by a stone-like version of him. What the? Is this your ability, Bart, to create a stone mimic of yourself? Not even close. As the stone mimic picked up a stone-like staff and pointed it sent a powerful blast, shattering the Sludge Villain into many pieces. No! Now, as I was saying, this I couldn't really think. So this is just a idea. I'm not making a complete series out of this until I get your guys' opinion on it. So until then, this is all I have. Bye.